Some of you will be owners of lemonade stands, and others will own companies that own other companies who own lemonade stands. The difference will be how well you learn and apply the concepts in these videos, and the knowledge is like protein powder. You need to exercise to build muscles. To get customers, you need a product or service. But how do you find the right product or service for your customer? You need to learn sales. Sales is the same as hunting. Our ancestors were hunters and gatherers. If they couldn't find food, they came home empty-handed and everyone would starve to death. That's not a metaphor, that was life. You either learned to hunt or you died. Sales is the same. If you can't get customers, your business starves to death. When I was 6 years old, I went fishing with my dad, but we never caught anything. For years, I failed and finally learned how to catch fish. Then I learned how to catch really big fish. But everything changed when I stopped focusing my effort on how to catch fish, and instead, I started focusing on studying the fish. I learned where they go, when they move, and what they eat. After that, I caught fish every trip, while others went home empty-handed. I didn't just become better, I became an expert. Here's what I learned. Effort does not equal result. You can cast your fishing line 1,000 times in the wrong spot and catch nothing. You can work harder than everyone and still starve. What matters is understanding the behavior of what you're hunting. Humans survived because we learned to observe where the prey gathered, when they were vulnerable, what they needed, how they moved through the world. The hunters who succeeded weren't the ones who worked the hardest. They were the ones who understood the animal. They knew its patterns, its needs, its fears, its timing, and they positioned themselves in the right place at the right time with the right bait. When selling to customers, focus your product pitch on how your product helps them make more money instead of telling them how it can save money. Think of a customer segment as a country. It has different types of people in it, and you need to spend time living in that country, getting to know these people's lives and the struggles to understand that country. You can't spend 3 days in a country without meeting different types of people and claim you know what that country is about. If you pass the founder exam, you can use Zero Sensei to help you understand a particular customer segment. I met someone who claimed to be a sustainability expert with 13 years of experience. They were a senior consultant for a very large company, so I asked them if they spent time in the field working with cotton farmers and the people transporting the cotton to the processing facilities or working inside the manufacturing facility. The answer was no. So they basically had 13 years of desk sitting experience meeting other desk sitters. They didn't actually spend time even briefly working in all areas of that customer segment, from farm to manufacturing and all the process steps that happen before it gets to the store. And cotton is just one type of product in sustainability. There are various other product types and each has its own process. That's like going to a country and sitting inside the hotel room for 13 years, claiming you know what that country is about because you spent 13 years living there. These are the kind of people who are acting as experts advising other people what to do. There are 7 big mistakes that I see entrepreneurs make. Imagine the entrepreneur as a fisherman and imagine the customer as a fish. Biggest mistake number 1. Competition. Entrepreneurs fish in ponds with few fish and many other fishermen. Your chances of getting home with a fish are very low, so you have to work really hard to maybe get one fish. Instead of working harder, why not work smarter by changing ponds to a place that has a lot more fish and fewer fishermen? There are a couple different ways to do this. First, realize that many other fishermen are after the same fish as you. Customers and investors are getting bombarded every day by startup founders, sales, and marketing teams through emails, phones, ads. You need to figure out what makes you different and how you're going to stand out. One of the easiest ways to stand out from competition is to target customers indirectly. If you try to sell directly to an important person like a VP of sales, they're usually overwhelmed with pitches. A smarter approach is to contact the people around them, like their manager or assistant, who are easier to reach and still have influence. Another way to beat competition is to give your customers more value for less price. In later videos, we'll talk about technical and product strategy more in depth, but one way Zero Input helps founders is we provide boilerplate templates you can feed to an AI to develop products for cheaper and better quality than if you ask the AI to build it from scratch. Once you choose your target customer, you can see a competitive intelligence dashboard that shows you recently funded startups targeting those same customers so you can learn from them. In 2026, we're launching a special ads platform allowing Zero Input founders to advertise on thousands of billboards across the world that normally cost thousands of dollars. This is one of the biggest mistakes that founders make. Imagine you're a founder and your company sells breakfast cereals. You knock on my door while I'm finishing my breakfast, but I'm busy and also full after eating my breakfast. Different approaches to stand at the morning breakfast drive-thru like a Tim Hortons drive-thru and give samples of your cereals to cars that are stuck waiting in line because they're hungry and willing to spend money on food at that time. But scaling this approach is slow because you need to stand near or drive through all day. So instead, you partner with Costco or other companies and use their employees through a partnership to sell your samples to people who are already there willing to spend money on food at that time. This is called buyer intent. Most amateur salespeople target demographics. That's targeting me as the 30-year-old who eats cereals, but I don't eat them every day. So timing is important. Also, there are all these other people who also eat breakfast cereal. Instead of demographics, you want to target buyer intent, which is who wants that product right now based on their behavior. My 1-year-old daughter really gets buyer intent. She loves going outdoors with me. At first, when she saw me leaving the house, she would run over to beg to leave the house. Next week, she ran over towards me as soon as I went near the exit door to leave the house. The week after, she ran over to me as soon as I started putting on shoes getting ready to leave the house. She was getting better at predicting my intent to leave the house. This is what gives companies advantage over others to get ahead of competition. In the sales video, I'll show you how to build your own buyer intent system that's customized and works better than out-of-box generic software. Some customers pay you well and help you get more customers. They're also easy to work with and stay with you for many years. Other customers drain your time, negotiate endlessly, complain constantly, and leave after one transaction. Your job is to choose the right customer. Don't sell to the small businesses because they can't afford your product and often go out of business or stop paying. Target medium businesses with revenue $500,000 to $10 million a year. Larger customers have long sales cycles and are harder to close. Here are some of the different customer types that are good customers to go after, but getting to them takes different approaches that we will talk about in the sales video. In the store, you'll see email lists you can buy, but never expect email lists to print money for you because you need buyer intent. If you don't understand buyer intent, you'll be emailing the wrong people, calling the wrong customers, chasing after the wrong people, wasting time, money, and energy. As a founder, your approach to scale a company determines if you build a $10,000 a year business, $500,000 a year business, or a multi-billion-dollar company. Going from $10,000 a year to $500,000 a year needs key skills such as the ability to partner with other companies or analyze and reasoning skills to justify expanding to new markets. As a founder, if you can't learn high-level skills, you'll be stuck selling to each customer at a drive-thru. An easy but expensive way to scale is ads, but you need to understand when ads make sense for your business. Ad platforms are like slot machines. You put money in unsure of the customer's buyer intent. And in businesses, about 80% of a company's money comes from just 20% of its customers. The big spenders are called whales, and the small spenders are called minnows. Companies focus on whales because whales spend way more money, and it takes about the same effort to help any customer. Some businesses like ketchup makers need millions of small purchases from small families buying one bottle at a time. But even they give extra attention to big buyers like stadiums and schools that order in bulk. In 2017, it used to cost about $5,000 in Facebook ads to find one whale. But in 2025, it costs around $10,000 to find one whale. The cost to find a whale through ads is rapidly increasing every year. And that's why ads only make sense for your business if the amount of profit your whale customers give you is $10,000 or more and your sales funnel has a high conversion rate. In the marketing video, we'll talk about guerrilla marketing techniques to get customers for less money so your business grows faster and competes better. Whether it's ads or partnership with stores or publishing your product in the Apple Store, you need distribution that allows you to get lots of customers for lower cost versus competitors. If you have family or friends or people you know in one of the customer segments that we just talked about, and that person knows other people in that industry, you can give them a share of your company as a partnership and they can help you build, test, and get customers in that space. Many amateurs don't know this, but multi-million-dollar deals often happen because people know each other, not because the competitor's product was better than yours. You can also take someone else's product and put your company name on it and resell it for a profit if that company allows it. This is called white labeling, and many fashion brands and even software companies allow their product to be white labeled. They leverage partner distribution. You can combine different concepts together like white labeling with a friendly partnership to create a value-added reseller. All these are different ways that give you an unfair advantage over competition. Another mistake is selling your product to a customer that doesn't have an urgent need for it. They need the product, but it's not an urgent need. There are some ways to create urgency, but in some cases your product just isn't a good fit for that customer. An example is a startup I knew who was selling cost-cutting solutions to a government customer. But the government customer didn't really care about saving money because wasting taxpayer money is not an incentive that they really care about. Getting your idea stolen is a lot more common than people think. Based on a true story, an inventor built a marker that could burn designs into wood using special ink. He paid a manufacturing company in China to make copies of this marker so he could sell it. But the mistake he made was also asking the company to put his website and product name on the pen, which allowed the Chinese company to track and figure out the purpose of that product. And the next thing he found were 167 different companies selling the same product for a tenth of the price he was charging. This is an investment table showing how investors make decisions on which company to invest in. We will go in depth in a fundraising video, but here's what you need to know for now. The investment column shows different places an investor can invest their money. The money in column is how much money they invest. Revenue is how much money the opportunity is making right now or could make right away. The return on investment is how much money you will make every year if you invest in that opportunity. The risk is the probability you will lose all of your money or some of your money investing in that opportunity and won't be a good investment. Higher risk is bad. Success rate is the confidence that your investment will be good and will give you the return on investment listed in the column. It's like a vending machine where you put $1 in and chances are high that you will get $2 back. But another machine gives you $4 back, but chances are higher you will get nothing back. When investors are deciding where to invest their money, they have these vending machines or options to invest in. Buying a laundromat, buying a house, and then renting it out. Investing in the stock market or giving it to entrepreneurs for business. Team C is entrepreneurs that haven't previously built a multi-million-dollar company before and they have a great idea but no money being made. Team B is entrepreneurs that haven't previously made a multi-million-dollar company but they have a great idea as well like Team C, but they're also making $10,000 a month. Team A is entrepreneurs that previously built a multi-million-dollar company. They have a good idea like the rest of the teams and at least $10,000 a month being made. As an investor, you will invest in Team A because your money has a higher chance of giving you more money back. You also know of Team A's that don't have a current startup or a business idea and they don't have any money being made. But you can take and steal ideas from Team C and B and take these unknown teams' ideas and hand it over to Team A, the proven team, and give them lots of money so they can execute better and faster. In the world of software, it's hard for unknown teams to ever know their idea was stolen. And even if they find out, no one will believe them. And other people don't care because they're busy with their lives. That's why if you're an unknown team, don't go pitching your business ideas to investors because they have more resources to put together a bigger, more experienced team and outcompete you. And it makes no sense for them to give you money until you've proven yourself through past success. Entrepreneurs who need funding or investment are the most vulnerable to getting their business ideas stolen. They spend time, energy, and money finding an idea that works only for investors to steal it. If you're an investor, how do you trick unknown teams to bring you ideas? First, tell them that ideas don't matter. Execution does. Second, tell everyone you invested in a bunch of unknown teams that came to you with just ideas. So this gives the unknown teams hope and they'll come to you with ideas or a profitable business that you can steal. Third, put an ideas section on your website form where teams can give you even more ideas. To make sure that your Team A has the best chance of stealing ideas and executing them successfully against unknown teams, make sure to ask what's something about this idea's execution that other people miss or don't know. This way you can extract deep domain knowledge if the unknown team is a domain expert. If you're an unknown team, your best bet is to build your product or idea without investor funding. If your idea needs investor funding to build, you need to break it down into smaller steps that you can build without investor funding to generate revenue and then use that revenue back to invest it into the product. Paul Graham is one of the most well-known investors in the world and even he recommends hiding from the eyes of investors. The world of business is not fair and he who fights fair dies surprised. OpenAI recently announced a security breach where a company that provided them with user analytics software similar to Google Analytics had a data breach where detailed user data, including contact information, was stolen by the attacker. Who is to say that this stolen information isn't going to be used to build another AI company and now this attacker has a customer contact list to contact? If you have any amount of wealth, influence, or power that someone would want, you need to hide it, and I'll tell you why. There are people who want what you have, and if they see that you have it, they will use different traps to get it from you. Here are some common traps. Many wealthy, influential, or powerful people are targeted by women, underage girls, to lure them into a trap, and they will then force you to sell your company when you don't want to sell it, or they'll force you to sell it for a much lower price than it's worth. Or they will ask you to use your resources to help them and their cause. Or they will try to rob you legally using gambling or use illegal things you may have done to blackmail you. Some will even loan you money that they make sure you can't pay back so they can legally and forcefully take what you have. Your competitors will use all sorts of dirty tricks to take what you have. So the best thing you can do is be a nobody. Be a ghost. That means don't post pictures of your wealth, fame, achievements, belongings, vacations on social media, or share them with others, even your own family members and employees. That means drive a beater car instead of a luxurious car. And if you have a luxurious car, hide it in a warehouse somewhere far away from your family and employees. If it helps you get customers, then only show it to them. That applies to fancy clothing and accessories too. Even if your employees are fairly paid, but they don't have the things that you do, it will breed jealousy, resentment, and create all sorts of problems for you. Your friends, spouse, kids, employees that you gift hundreds of thousands of dollars to will always think that you're capable of giving them much more, and this was peanuts for you, so they won't appreciate it. And if you have kids, they won't work hard in life because they'll wait to inherit your wealth, and this will cause them to be weak in life and they'll suffer. Focus on gathering actual wealth, power, and influence, not trying to impress other people. The bodybuilders injecting oil into their muscles don't actually have strength. They just look like they do. Companies and people will lie to you and mislead you to get your time, money, energy for their benefit. A big lie being told is that LinkedIn can get you customers, but in reality, it's a huge waste of time. And here's one of many examples. Someone with 28,000 followers who's been searching for a job for months and is financially struggling by now. If LinkedIn were the money machine that's promoted to be, she wouldn't be in this position. Smart founders don't waste their precious time on it. Here's a popular marketer on LinkedIn telling startup founders how great marketing on LinkedIn is for their business and how it can help them make $1 million every year in less than 12 months. But guess what? She's also the marketer for a company that helps other startup founders create AI generated slop content using her company's tools to promote their brand on LinkedIn. That's like a cigarette company telling you smoking is good for you when the reality is that it causes cancer. There are people who run what's called event businesses, making money by selling tickets to events. In the startup world, they market to founders by advertising that investors will be coming to this event. However, they don't mention that hundreds or thousands of other founders will also be there, and the investors aren't attending this event to discover startups. They're doing their own marketing to increase the deal flow, ensuring they can select from the best founders who submit their profiles and company traction data directly to the investor's website. Smart founders don't waste their time or money on these events. Instead, they focus on growing their company and submitting their company's pitch deck directly on the investor's website, where all companies get reviewed at the same time. This guy works for one of the biggest investor companies in the world, and even he says that you need a product and customers signed up along with a good team before your company even has a chance of an investor looking at you. Similar to how companies and people will sell you diet pills for weight loss, which sounds like a magic way to lose weight but doesn't actually work, smart people understand that understanding calories and diet is actually how to lose weight. For job seekers, recruiters and consultants will charge you hundreds of dollars for resume review services and tell you your resume is the problem and why you're not getting job interviews, when it's actually your skills, experience, or the job market and the economy that's the problem. Pitch deck software companies will tell you your pitch deck is the reason you're not getting investor funding, when it's actually your crappy lack of revenue or customer traction or bad business model that's the real problem. Here's an investor that posted on LinkedIn that she was helping founders meet investors, but when you message her, she links you to a website where she charges $100 for 15 minutes of meeting with her. In my book, you can read more about how these charlatans prey on people. Then there are degenerate investors who will push you to buy software through their referral link, demanding proof of purchase while promising entry into a competition with a slim chance of winning $5,000. Odds potentially worse than winning the lottery. Here's a CEO who hired an executive assistant, and she was so great as an employee that he promoted her to be a chief of staff. Nelly, a recruitment consultant, commented in the post telling the now chief of staff, "He still calls you an assistant? You deserve so much more. Leave your job." To which I replied, "Understand Nelly's business model. She needs competent people to quit their job so she can sell them job seeker services." Incompetent employees will be negative and complain to destroy the morale of competent employees who they see as competition, driving competent employees to quit their job. As a CEO, you need to fire these people without warning. Here's another scammer claiming to invest $1 million and wants you to use his referral link in the comment section. These people are often selling your data to other companies. Save your time, money, and energy by learning how to see through these scammers. There are online celebrities called influencers whose entire business model is to hype things up and create clickbait content to indirectly market or advertise products, wasting your time. There are people who are in the education business. Universities, boot camps, and course platforms sell outcomes to you to sell you knowledge. Whether that knowledge is actually valuable and helps you achieve your goals is not their priority. Then there are people who make up fake stories to sell you products or services. There are so many different variations of these types of people. Most companies and individuals will sell anything they legally can if it's profitable. If it were legal to sell guns, cars, drugs to children, many would do so without hesitation. Ethics are optional. The only reason cigarette companies started putting warning signs on their packaging is because the government forced them to put that warning on their packaging. Social media companies sell you advertising. Email marketing companies sell you email software. Their priority is to their business profits, not to your business outcomes. They couldn't care less if their product actually helps you or not. At Zero Input, we don't sell tools to founders we believe have a low chance of business success. If you don't pass the founder exam, we recommend working as an employee instead, and we won't take your money. I'm showing you how to see, so you can see what other people miss, giving you competitive advantage over 99% of entrepreneurs who can't fully see. Even if your competitors have access to the same customers and data as you do, but you can see more than them, you will learn more and build better successful businesses than them. Some of you will see nothing, some will see a little bit, others will see more, some will see a lot more. But there's a maximum limit to what we can see as humans, and some people will take drugs to try and see more, but it only creates the illusion that you're seeing more and is not real. There is a physical world, then there is a behavior world, then there's intent, awareness, and consciousness. Animals can only see physical and behavior. That's why we can train them to do work for us. Humans have the ability to see a lot more, but as you go further up, there are fewer people who can see more. Seeing more allows you to make better hiring decisions, identify customers actually interested in buying your product or service, finding partnerships that will help grow your business, find friends who are actually good human beings, and overall help save you a ton of time, money, and energy by making better decisions faster. Based on a true story, at a high-profile charity event with wealthy donors at the event, the facility janitor decided he wanted to speak on stage, but the charity CEO politely asked him to step off the stage. The janitor refused, so the CEO had to push him off the stage. Many people in the audience thought that the CEO had anger problems, but when I privately spoke to the CEO, he mentioned there are many highly educated and high net worth individuals present at the event, and for some of them, having a janitor speak on stage is an insult, which means fewer donations for the children's charity. The masses only see physical and behavior. Few see intent and above. Common human behavior pattern across social media platforms. 90% of people are lurkers. They view posts but don't comment or like. 10% comment or like other people's posts. And only 1% actually post. The lesson to learn is people are built differently. Some are common while others are rare, and you need to learn how to see through them. You wouldn't sell a branded luxury purse to a beggar, and you wouldn't sell a cheap junk purse to a wealthy individual. Their buying behavior is different, and you need to learn how to see that. The physical world is the manifestation or the result of the higher levels. If you want change, change the higher level and everything else will follow. Someone at a lower level of consciousness will end up being obese and depressed. Overeating is the behavior, and obesity is the physical world. Ill intent and corruption at the top leadership level results in systems and processes that in the physical world manifest as wealth inequality. This happens in companies, and countries are just another form of companies. By learning how to see, you'll learn to analyze and judge the person playing the game instead of the person in the game. After all, even if there are 1,000 matches played in the game, the result will be the same because it's the same person playing the game, and you don't need to waste time, money, and energy witnessing 1,000 matches. One day, you see a wealthy person donating money to charity and hospitals. You think the intent shows that he cares about people, but he was buying public perception to benefit his business indirectly. But you didn't see that because you didn't know that he came from a country where slavery had only recently ended. So you as a startup founder misunderstood his intent and pitched to him and his friends a startup idea that enables equality between wealthy and poor people. Three things happen here. Deal. He agrees to invest or partner with your business. You still need to be careful he's spying. No deal. He says he's not interested or ignores you. If you have friends with a particular skill set, they can help you close customer deals and partnerships. Third option, he says no deal. he's not interested, and he won't let you do it either. This is where you need to bring the dark clouds of misfortune above them and be fully prepared before walking into that meeting. Either you're allowed to walk out or nobody walks out. Don't let them see how this will happen so they can't prepare for it. A farmer takes care of his sheep and feeds them every day. The sheep feel very happy and think the farmer is kind. But later, the farmer eats the sheep. Learn to look beyond what people say or do and think about what their real goal might be. Business ideas are like mountains. Some are easy to climb and others need more time and preparation, skills, experience, energy to climb. When you're new, start small, and as you climb to the peak, select a slightly bigger mountain to climb next. Repeat as you climb bigger mountains. Horses are tools that can help your mountain climb journey become easier, but some can be tamed while others cannot. Bigger and more powerful horses can help you climb bigger mountains, but to tame them, you need more experience, time, skills, and energy. When doing partnerships, you can offer two choices: fortune or misfortune. Mike Tyson, a world-renowned heavyweight boxer and wealthy individual, once said, "Everyone has a price, but the price isn't always money." Suppose that I own a chocolate company and I want this cake bakery to use my chocolate for their cake ingredients. But if the bakery refuses to use my chocolate, even though it's better quality and better price than competitors, dark clouds of misfortune can appear above that bakery. You offer these choices to people at the higher level. Only people at the higher level who make decisions for these masses. Eventually, you'll just show up, or your friends will show up, and things will happen for you because people at the higher level know who you are and what you're capable of doing. To friends, family, and masses, you're nobody. The law states that you're innocent until proven guilty. Make sure to understand these things. Elon Musk was once questioned in court about Tesla's monopoly in the automotive industry. He said his business's target market is the software industry, not the automotive industry. This protected him from laws against monopolies. It was never proven who used this man to control all these people. Let's see if you can see what happened here, or if you're gonna be part of the masses who don't actually see. Your competitors have the same information that you do. Learning how to see is your biggest advantage. The Inuit people hunted polar bears using special made traps. The hunters took a thin strip of whalebone and sharpened both sides and bent it into a U shape like a spring. While it was bent, they wrapped it in animal fat and left it outside to freeze. When the bear ate the ball, it melted inside their stomach and cut the entire stomach of the bear, causing it to bleed. If other hunters have more resources than you, seeing more is your advantage. By learning how to see, this will naturally be better. Remember this diagram from the first video? As a 10-year-old, I used to play this online multiplayer real-world simulator game called RuneScape. There were different ways to make money, like fishing to sell fish, chopping trees to sell wood, or mining to sell minerals. It was a slow path to make a few $100s in the game, and it took some people years to make their first $1 million. The people who understood how this worked made millions a lot faster. Those that understood it well made their billions. Once you had billions, you controlled the game's entire economy by working with other billionaires through secret merchanting clans. We controlled the entire economy while the lower levels never understood, and some of them spent years gathering a few $1 million the hard way before quitting. How fast you learn how the game works determines what you end up with. There are 3 more short videos, and after that you can do the founder exam. The rest of the videos will focus on lower level knowledge like this. I'm building a robot employee called Zeno that zero input founders can buy in stores once it's available. Zeno can control other computers to do work for you all day. Just plug Zeno's USB and HDMI cable into the computer you wish to control, and Zeno only costs $1 a day.